Well, here we go. We gotta start planting onions. We'll try to plant 20 candies and 10. It's a red onion, it's a number. I don't remember the number. I'd have to look it up. But we're gonna just go ahead and try to get this job out of the way, and hopefully maybe tomorrow plant some sweet corn. Well, we're all done planting the onions for another year. I've done roughly 2,500 reds and 4,500 candy onion, white onion, sweet white, sweet yellow, I guess. But I call them white. But anyway, we're all done that job till next year. Let's move on, maybe plant some sweet corn. We're here on my sweet corn that I just planted. We just got done covering the edges. I got to put blocks on the ends. I thought I'd show you what we're doing, what the material is, and I'm hoping to gain freeze protection and frost. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's got perforations in it. Perforated is 1.6 mil. It comes in, I think these rolls were 328 feet, and it's very easy to handle. I did this all by myself. It didn't take long at all, maybe an hour and a half at the most. The time I rode down here, I'm about 2 miles from my main farm, where this particular piece is. I plant this particular farm because it's completely surrounded with woods, and it's close to the river, and it's very sandy, and it's the earliest piece I have. And two, like I say, got trees on all four sides. It blocks the wind, and hopefully this plastic will stay here. I've had bad luck with plastic moving on me, flying away. Well, it's time to close up the tunnels. It's supposed to be 38 tonight. Just to be on the safe side, I try to make sure I cover them up. They also give them a few more degrees of protection. And it's been fairly warm in here all day. Had a bright sunny day, so it's got a lot of heat in the ground. So there won't be any problems even if I didn't cover them, but I cover them up just to be on the safe side. Now I'm in my asparagus house now. I planted these, the center row. I've got one row in the center, 2 rows on the sides. The rows on the sides I just planted last spring, so I'm going to cut them a little bit this year. The center row has been there for 5 or 6 years, so I cut it pretty hard and long. We're running a little late this year what we normally cut the asparagus because of we had a late freeze, I guess 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was starting then to come up and just about ready to cut a few, and we had a hard freeze. I could have covered it up, but I only had less than a pound come up, so I just let it go. And so I'm gonna cut this, and we won't get much, a pound or two, a couple pounds. If it would stay warm, we could get 3, 4, 5 pounds, which it's not much, but in the spring, it gets you started. Get started doing something anyway, selling something, and it'll be easy to sell. We're 2 weeks away from cutting strawberry, or not cutting strawberries, picking strawberries in the tunnels. I only grow in the tunnels because usually you get a lot longer season out of the tunnels. The yields can be better, and they're so easy to sell when you have them so early. So if anything, the first ones are always the easiest to sell, and they're actually, I think they're more tender. They're not as tough or hard. The texture is a lot softer, and I think they're sweeter, but that's why we do that, but I'll show you them later. But I gotta cut this asparagus now. I use a cabbage knife. That's what I call it. It's a big butcher knife. That's what I use to cut. I just started using it, and I keep it very sharp, and that's what I like. That's not too bad. It's probably a pound, pound and a half. I'm not really complaining for 20 by 96 greenhouse with only really one row bearing really good. I figure I'll get 5, 6 pounds when I'm in full production, which that's not much, but get $3, $4 a pound and do that every day. It's a little extra money, that's all. And actually I have another greenhouse I'm probably going to put in asparagus. It's just something nobody does, and I just have to try it because nobody's done it. All I really have to do is just check the greenhouse, hit any dry spots if I see any dry spots. And 6 o'clock, it's not a lot going on yet. Simple fact that it's so wet and it's cold and nothing really to plant. It's a little early, so I'm gonna quit early. It won't be long, a few months, or not even a few months, a few weeks, and it'll be go hard most of the time till dark. Are you ready to go? So he's sitting right there. He knows it's time to go home. Let's go. Good morning. As you can see, we've got more rain. It's 39 degrees and wet, miserable. It's going to supposedly have a freeze. Let's get out. We'll look at our peaches. Oh, here we go. It's 39 degrees right now. As you can see, I think we're supposed to have 29 Saturday morning, or 26. And you can see peaches are in bloom. Plus they're wet. You can see the water. it's just been a never-ending fight with peaches with me. Here's a block we planted later. This is a dry land corner anyway. The pivot wasn't touching it, hitting it, so I decided to plant it in peaches. But it's hasn't fared very well, and I'm not very proud of it, and I really don't like looking at it every day. But that's just have to deal with it. I don't know if I'm gonna replant. If I keep losing some, I might just take them out, because they're more. Actually, if it's full orchard, it's more than we could sell at our farm stand. We'll just have to see what another year brings. We also lost a lot from the storms last summer. We had, I don't remember, it was a hurricane or it was a tropical storm. Anyway, we had a straight line winds blew hard from the northeast and turned right around, and an hour later and blew out of the west, and actually blew our farm stand over too. That I completely lost 30 trees in this block from that windstorm. So it's struggling, and I got to make up my mind what I'm going to do with it. I thought after this year I will make my mind up whether I'm going to take them out or replant. More water. This field's, I'm supposed to put it in, I am going to put it in corn. This field's trickle irrigated. I put it in, the tape actually needs to be replaced. The lay flat needs to be replaced. I'm debating on what kind of lay flat I'm going to replace it with. I really don't want to spend a lot of money on this field. As you can see, we got more water, and this field particularly does not water very well because it split the field in half. The lay flat's right in this, where water runs to. It's a low spot. Still debating on what to do with this field. Probably need to put a pivot. I may do that eventually. I'm just trying to get by. I've had three wet years. It's hard to justify spending any money when you're struggling with wet years, when you're not making money. But we'll decide. I'll show you what we do with this field. I'm looking at some new material for lay flat, something that will last a little longer. Seems like the blue lay flat don't last like it used to. Plus, it stays out all year, because if I had to pull up all my lay flat, it wouldn't be worth fooling with. If I had to pull it up every year and put it back down on, right now, probably trickle irrigating 75 acres of green ground. It just wouldn't be worth it. Almost an inch. Well, it's a rainy day, cloudy, it's cool. I'm just going to work in the greenhouse this morning. I usually save these kind of days for working in the greenhouse, and really I don't have much to do in the greenhouse. Maybe 40 trays to plant. My cucumbers, squash, string beans, I don't know, 2 or 3 different types of each, and it's about 30 or 40 trays. Just try to get this done today, and then maybe run and get some supplies, and one of them maybe be a goof off afternoon. I don't know. Still have onions left. I've got 2 beets left,
and a lot of candy onions. Of course, we have our cabbage, collards, broccoli, a few of my 3-inch pot tomatoes left. Weather's not good for selling plants today or tomorrow, even into the weekend. Maybe after Easter weekend, maybe some of this will start moving. Get some warm weather, people start planting.
Thanks for watching our video, and be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for our upcoming videos. Thanks.